I'm Duling and Stateler, and our farm is located in northwest Ohio, outside of Macomb, and we are about 35 miles southwest of Toledo. Our family has been on this farm. I'm the fourth generation to live here, and it was started here in 1864.
We are a grain operation along with a contract hog operation in partnership with Horde Family Farms in Bucyrus.
We've been in the hog operation for as long as I can remember. I'm 57 years old and I probably was born in a barn, so we've been using hog nutrients for a lifetime.
Farmers in Ohio want to use pig manure or manure really in general over commercial fertilizers because it's kind of a multivitamin that we take in the morning.
When you purchase commercial fertilizer, you can purchase 1, 2, 3, or 4 different items to put in your commercial fertilizer. And the natural hog manure comes with not only nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, but also has sulfur, zinc, iron, magnesium, a lot of those things that we have to pay an awful lot more money for in order to get for our crops.
It's organic. I feed the animals my corn and soybeans. They in turn give me the manure, and then I apply it on the fields where it's needed. It's just a full circle.
It's not synthetic, it's natural. It's come from the nutrients that was there before. You know, the pig has used it to produce protein, and then we use the waste of that to come right back. It sort of makes that perfect circle of doing sustainability.
Farmers in Ohio, how they're going to use animal nutrients is they run an analysis of the manure to see what the nitrogen, phosphate, and potash is and the micronutrients. They also will have soil samples of their farms. It's just a correlation of what the farm needs, what the crop they're going to raise versus what the nutrients are in the animal manure.
In determining on how much manure that we're putting out, we go through and grid sample all of our fields before an application is made. We typically grid sample everything about every 3 years, if not just before we're going to apply that manure to our field. Once we get those soil samples, we can basically take that on a computer, that field, and we can build a map of exactly what we want to apply and where we want to. So what that allows us to do is put it in the right place, right time, at the right, rate of what we need to do.
The myths that are out there, they think we're just letting it go down the river, pumping it in the river. No, we don't. This is a high quality product. We don't want to waste it. We put it where it's needed.
The manure is very valuable. I've seen that go from a value of $8,000 to almost as much as $50,000 here that we saw a few years ago during the pandemic when we couldn't get commercial fertilizer and the prices just rose. That was the high point for our manure. So it's a valuable product. It's a valuable commodity.
There's lots of myths that we're just opening up the back of our manure tank and just letting it go. And that couldn't be farther from the truth with the technology that we spent into the variable rate. But what the edge of field is allowing us to do is to know, okay, are there certain practices that we're doing, certain times of year that we're applying manure that we're losing nutrients more than what we typically are at a different time?
And we're testing all the water that goes through our tile system, and we're testing all the water that comes off the surface. And as the testing equipment has enhanced over the last 10 years, we are doing a very good job of maintaining our nutrients in the soil. The misconception is that there's no regulation over farmers on how you apply your manure or what it is that you use for your manure. But Ohio has one of the strictest guidelines that has been set up by ODA.
There are guidelines that are set in place for us to know environmentally what we can put on the ground or inject into the ground. Not only are we looking at it as an economic part of it, but we're also looking at what our levels are environmentally. We're wanting to make sure that we're not doing anything that's going to hurt the environment at all when we're applying our manure on that. Where technology is now compared to even 10 years ago, when we started getting this variable rate technology is a vast improvement for where we're at. I think as a farmer, we look at why we're doing what we do is because I think we all kind of feel that God put us on this earth to be a steward of his land, to make sure that we're doing the right thing. You just don't go out and make new ground. This ground is what we have. So if we're doing the right things to it for water quality, for what our soil levels are and everything like that. As long as we're doing the right thing, we know that that is still going to be there for the next generation and the next generation after that. So that's what drives us to be able to be environmental stewards, is making sure that we are leaving a lasting impression on what the next generation has to be able to work with.
It's been a great experience for us to have opened up our farm as part of the demonstration farm. We've had visitors here from people who know nothing about the farm. We've entertained congressmen, senators, a governor, so it's been very exciting on that aspect. But I can tell you that our best clientele that we have are the people that don't know anything about what we do. You can see it in their eyes that they're being told something that is different from what they've been led to believe. And whether you change their mind exactly or not, those have been rewarding for us, because you get the sense that, okay, yeah, we do make a difference.